Would you like to introduce these teams?
Yes, I would! Let's get back into the land of Dawn. I know y'all missed it. Here's Rsg Slate SG going up against Burn X Flash in the opener of the knockout stage.
Right off the bat, what I do want to see and what I want to question when it comes down to RSG's lineup is the fact that they are such a front-to-back, team fight-oriented composition. This kind of seems as though that they are trying to set themselves up so that even if Diablo is not around trying to create space somewhere else, they can still possibly win a fight.
But we've seen lineups that have great coverage. We've seen lineups that try to do so much with so much space that it eventually flops. Look at this, an early amount of damage taken onto Oki, an early recall.
Yeah, definitely. This is much needed for Burn X Flash, knowing full well that the main damage coming up from RSG will be coming from the gold laner, Oki. I mean, you could argue that the Farsa eventually will output the damage, but generally speaking, your constant source of DPS comes from the carry. And starting in the gold lane means that Burn X Flash identifies that as the main win condition for RSG.
Something to note as well, look at all of the flickers coming in from Burn X Flash. They are looking to, instead of Purify through the Minoan Fury, through the main CC that RSG are presenting, they're just going to get out of there. So I'm thinking hard re-engage. So Burn X Flash are not going to take this lying down. Again, the pressure down here in bottom lane. Oh, D7.
Relatively passive game so far coming in from both sides. It kind of seems as though RSG do want to put a little bit of priority onto the bottom lane, considering the fact that Carry and Beatrix is a relatively even matchup.
The answer from RSG Slate is they're going to put a lot more in XP. They're going to try to watch out for XP, because look, they've now left Donut and Oki.
Yeah, so I think they're going to mirror each other. It's the triple switch wherein you switch the mid lane to the XP lane and you put the roamer in the mid lane, and you have the XP laner roaming in the river.
And now at 2 minutes, Turtle is up. Chima first on the scene. ATM drawing a line.
They're just going to be putting all of their resources onto ATM first. However, it doesn't seem like it's going to be phasing ATM at all until Roy came into the picture. As now the split play is just going to be connected onto Bray. As we look over to the back, Diablo just going to be focusing onto the turtle. But that will be Lucian Cutie that takes the turtle at first. Burn X Flash immediately retreated themselves afterwards.
A string of odd occurrences. First up, Lucian Cutie gets the turtle, and then first blood drawn onto who you want to put the turtle on for Burn X Flash.
That was really a weird interaction, but big props to the side of RCSG, just making sure that they
Donut. Immediate flickers himself out of the way. Roy gets a kill. D7 connects right down onto the hook, plus the knockdown, and that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
Yo, absolutely overextension coming up from RSG, from RSG, then Burn X Flash with a great punish. And this is important because now you give a lot to the gold laners, from both ends actually. But then again, it's even more so important for RSG. Burn X Flash, they have a way out of this. They can go for pickups, but RSG, they have to go full engage.
Nope, they're not letting him breathe, and they hook Bray!
Onto Bray, and he doesn't seem like he will be close to purple buff anytime, but he still manages to take it away from Chima.
Grand Theft Purple already. Chima, a taste of his own medicine. Where is Seacat? Oh, we've been talking about how much vision and how much better the boxes are going to be for Burn X Flash, but it looks like back into the game. And there's the hook!
Oh, and of course, it does seem as though Lucian Cutie wants to continue on, but a flicker comes in from Oki to ensure that he'll be able to come close to Donut.
Wow. Great answer coming out from RSG Slate. Well, there was a great hook onto the Farsa, but the fact that they took a donut in between two lanes, I think that's going to be great.
I think this is going to be bad due to the fact that Donut actually died 2 times in bottom lane already. That is not great in an even matchup between Carry as well as Beatrix. But right now, RSG, they're getting themselves right underneath the turret's nose, and Seacat and D7 doesn't seem like they will be able to defend that too much.
They're treading the needle here, and they see that turtle is up, so they might need us elsewhere. Let's let Donut breathe first, but again, that's a tactical retreat coming in from RSGSG. Up top, Diablo's, again, going as aggressively as he could, forcing ATM here to back out. Something to note about Burn X Flash's draft is they have no real peel. Besides ATM, who actually wants to draw a line between his opponents and his squad, there's really not much they can do to stand up against RSG's damage, and now a free turtle take right in front of ATM's face.
Oh, Roy did manage to get hit by the grab, but it doesn't seem like it will be too big of a thing because RSG don't want to be so aggressive on ATM. Great escape though when it comes down to the flicker. In the meantime, down to the bottom lane, great start coming from CCAT. Oki knew that he had no choice but to take the fight head on. He goes down, and so will Lucent Cutie.
The numbers game were against RSG down bottom, and it looked like they couldn't find a way to capitalize, so this was a losing trade.
Oh, 100%. Vertex Flash. Great cross-map play that you saw from them. They put 3 heroes onto the bottom lane right as the second turtle ended. So what happened was, the members of RC were divided, Oki was left open, and even when they decided to not contest the turtle, they went in for a bottom lane trade where they got a kill onto Oki and the turret.
And given this situation right now, RSG Slate SG have to repair. Let's again look at what gave Burnex Flash here this 500, 600 gold lead in this early of a game state. Here's that mistake down bottom. They picked a fight against 3 members.
Donut flickering in, just looking for Oki, not really minding Lucent Cutie. There was a great jump coming from Lucent Cutie eventually, but you saw that Donut was focused on a mission, win the gold lane matchup, and now they're leading by 400. They even transferred to the top lane.
I really like the fact that Burnex Flash immediately went for recovery mode in the bottom lane to try to make things good for Donut. In the meantime, RSG knew what's going to be happening. They went to go down to the bottom lane, but Diablo was unable to hold the fort all by himself.
It's the same flub. RSGSG seems to have overestimated the amount of sustain and the potential for outplay in the lane that they're willing to trade for. So yeah, they're a step behind currently. Now, about 2k down, Bray looking to steal again this purple buff away from Chima, but Chima is a step ahead as well. Look, he took the purple already from RSG.
The siege from Burnex Flash is definitely devastating over to the hands of devastating over to RSG, right? There's really like not much that they can do. Burnex Flash is just playing their own game, while RSG is a little bit slow on that.
Astral Echo already set in by CCAT, looking for better ways to engage, and here's ATM coming in.
He's just gonna be caught in between of everyone else with the first person down. Bray takes himself the turtle, and Burnex Flash would want to retreat, full-on retreat. Shama makes a quick run, but Diablo with the sword out strike brings him down with 2 members down.
Wonderful recovery coming up from RG Slate. Especially because they were able to control that pit on the turtle. But Burnex Flash, macro plays for the past 2 minutes. They traded for bottom lane turret, and then up top they got 2. Then they got the middle. They might have given away the turtle, and now another turret. But they are evening up when it comes to the gold just because of their macro adjustments.
It seems like there's a rubber banding effect here that RSG has taken advantage of. The fact that Burnex Flash has been conditioned to send more bodies elsewhere opens up that small window for RSG to, again, shrink this currently 400 gold lead, which was prior about 2,000. 5-5 here. The map's looking as close to 50-50 as it can be with a minute away from the first lord of this game. Now we're looking for that next engage. A lot of vision coming in from Burnex Flash, so I'd say unless Diablo says, you know what, it's a clear go, boys. 2 here, 3 here, find that take, it should be go for RSG. One thing to note though, they still have that goal, that tier 1 up top. So I'm thinking, what's going to be the play? Oh yeah, of course, send Oki.
Yeah, send Oki there. And by the way, Burnex Flash also managed to push the mid lane turret while also retaining their own. And while it is almost an even matchup when it comes to their economy, the fact that they have maintained their tier 1 in the middle means that they have more map control.
And Donut immediately jumps himself into Panat's rage, followed after D7's hooks.
So that's something you don't have when you're RSG. Everything has to come clean. Everything has to come when you're ready.
The pincer maneuver down on the Oki. ATM brings him down as Burnex Flash huddles together, congregated together to make sure that they will be able to push RSG away from their own jungles.
That's what I was saying. When Burnex Flash says we want this, they're more sure it's easier to set up. RSG need maybe 2 steps, and here comes Diablo.
Unfortunately, the Petrify just did not connect. ATM comes in between and stops his advance.
Oh, they're going for the blitz. Burnex Flash scores the first lord of the game. Something to note, Diablo, usually rocks and execute when he wants to play this way in the Benedetta. What's with the Petrify?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. But what I do know is that Burning Splash had a great last minute. It was the most fluid 1 minute I saw from Burning Splash. They got a kill in the middle. They pinch from top into that elbush up top where the lizard is. They got a kill onto Oki. Then they get the Lord. That was so fluid from Burning Splash.
There's definitely some sense in Diablo picking up the Petrify. Now, he kind of pretty much changed his idea and how he wanted to play the game. Instead of going so much of a side split push kind of thing, he will want to play for his team a lot more with the Petrify and all. But unfortunately, it seems like they are completely not utilizing the Benedetta's advantage.
And it looks like D7, the rest of Burnex Flash have read into that. Maybe checkmate, because his hooks have been landing 50% of the time, and that's a huge stat. That's a huge amount of hooks coming in through a 10-minute game. That's a tier 2 in mid push, the main artery exposed for RSG. Slate SG, Burnex Flash looking to capitalize. They have a Lord. All the lasers synced.
The top lane is just gonna be marched down by the Trident-bearing Lord, and he's gonna be melted down relatively fast.
Whoa!
In the meantime, great snipe down onto Lucid Cutie. The front line is not gonna be there for a good amount of time. There's not gonna be some presence coming in, but red hot coming in right through onto Oki, and this RSG doesn't have the damage that they wanted anymore.
Knock up that stat to about 60%. If not, it's worth it. I don't care. You get one hook that matters. That's all that matters right now. And
the airstrike along with a deadly cat. Everything's just gonna be tossed right on the opponents, and they will throw whatever that they can. ATM gets himself snacked out on top of Lucid Cutie. There's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade, but Oki is coming back out. The top lane and the middle lane inhibitor turret is unfortunately gonna be taken down, followed shortly by the bottom.
4v4, the defense of a lifetime coming in from RSG Slade. Roy doesn't have his feathered airstrike just yet. Burnex Flash, let's go.
The Cambodian aggression, we're taught about this. It was part of the skills that we were given, and now we can see it. So ever since 9 minutes, they didn't even let go of the pressure they're putting on the map. Pushing up top, pushing a bit, getting the Lord, and when they pushed against RSG, they stayed, but did not overstay. They got a pick off, they got more. What wonderful plays coming out from Roy.
Do you see how much damage that was? Even Sika wasn't ready. Even Sika was shocked.
That was a big catch. Let's say that, and not to forget, the Lord will be coming up in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
C-Cat will just barely make it. So I believe that RSG, they can actually try to force a fight due to the fact that Novaria is nowhere to be seen anymore.
Roy still needed to be there. Roy would rather not died. And rather, C-Cat, Roy got him. The fact that he kept his flicker might mean that he's willing to gamble that. But wait, look at this rotation coming in.
Oh, I love it, because I was just about to say, RSG, the only way for them to win this is via split push. Get a long lane pusher, like Diablo, for example. But look at that. You can see that Burnex Flash knew that this could happen. They just guessed it wrongly.
Oh, there's a bloody hunt down on the Diablo. Donut was around, so RSG, they have the information. They're gonna be going 4-man all in down to the Lord and immediately bring down ATM. But unfortunately, he do have got the revive, and he, with the immortality, is gonna be holding him back on. ATM, he's dead. He may be dead. RSG do not have Diablo as well.
Given the way the map looks like, no more inhibitors for RSG Slate SG. Burnex Flash read the room and understood that we can blitz the Lord. They're going to be forced to back out. We have vision on them. We're going to take this Luminous Lord and play the slow roll.
Now, there's some high-level understanding coming out from Burnex Flash, and I really love their macro. Like I said, they just guessed a wrong bush, but the idea was there. They wanted to shut down Diablo because Diablo is the remaining win condition from RSG. The biggest problem for RSG now on this defense is that they will have to commit the feathered airstrike. And we know for sure that without the feathered airstrike, you will only rely on Oki's damage output, which is single target damage against the engage comp now of Burnex Flash. That is a big problem. How will they manage their resources? When will they use the feathered airstrike? That's a big dilemma for RSG.
And that's what's making this all the more difficult. And that's why Burnex Flash has so much time and space to work with.
Yes,
they now have the Lord marching down through mid. It's a 5v5 defense, the siege of a lifetime. Can they start it off strong?
The shred is not quite there yet for Oki, but big snipe coming from Donut, leaving Diablo with only a slip of health. But unfortunately, Lucid Cutie is not going to be staying alive for any more longer. The Lord is still at half HP. The bloody hunt connects down onto Diablo, and the entirety of the push in from Burnex Flash conquered RSG Slate Rsg.
You can hear the crowd roar. The